We are learning more about an FBI investigation into Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, who allegedly accepted a $50,000 bribe from undercover agents posing as business owners looking to score fat government contracts. Julian Jace Calderas, a former US immigration official who worked under Homan in the Obama administration, allegedly proposed to the agents who were posing as businessmen that Homan, in exchange for $1 million, could help them win lucrative federal contracts if Donald Trump became president again, according to an internal Justice Department document describing the investigation. Now, Cenk, there is a lot more, we'll get into it, but immediately from the right, there was this denial that it didn't happen, it's all fake news. And then you started to see the rhetoric shift. Oh, well, he was just consulting. I mean, do you believe there's any cause for skepticism here, or are you just convinced that he took this bribe?
Oh, yeah, I mean, look, people should get trials, and so he's innocent until proven guilty. But he should get a trial and not be the head of this important program. And ironically, if he was an undocumented immigrant, he'd be the first to be deported since he's a criminal. Dr. Phil comes along and they're like, now, Tom, I hear you took $50,000, okay? That's illegal, you know that, right? So we're gonna have to deport you. So we'll have to figure out where to deport him.
Yeah. Well, Homan was running his own consulting firm, which I think is where the right-wing spin comes from, in the fall of 2024 that would help contractors win border-related contracts. And he publicly bragged that he would serve in a senior role carrying out Trump's proposed mass deportations if the GOP candidate won the election. Calderas, a former border agent, would benefit from his longstanding ties to Homan as CEO of the San Antonio-based ex-Fed. Calderas, co-owner of a detention services and government contracting firm in Texas, first allegedly proposed the scheme in May of 2023. Calderas held several subsequent conversations with the agents about his cash for contracts proposal, culminating in a September 20th, 2024 meeting in Dallas, at which agents recorded Homan accepting $50,000 in cash, according to the document and sources. At that same meeting, Calderas accepted $10,000 from the undercover FBI agents. His alleged proposal to undercover FBI agents, which had not been previously reported, led to a full-blown Justice Department investigation of Homan, who at the time was a private consultant helping clients obtain government contracts. Now, the White House has criticized the investigation as a politically motivated inquiry started under the Biden administration. White House Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson said in a statement that this changes nothing. The now shuttered federal criminal probe is a blatantly political investigation which found no evidence of illegal activity. Now, the investigation ended after Trump became president for a second time in January. His political appointees at the FBI and the Justice Department shut down the case last month. Jackson said that Homan has not been involved with any contract award decisions and that he is doing a phenomenal job on behalf of President Trump and the country. She also reiterated that the investigation was driven by Biden Justice Department appointees to target President Trump's allies. But the Trump administration needs to get their story straight because they're sending conflicting messages, which means lies are being spouted. Take a look.
Mr. Homan never took the $50,000 that you're referring to, so you should get your facts straight, number one.
Okay, so he never took it. But Homan said during an interview on Fox News that he did nothing wrong, but he did not address whether he accepted the $50,000. Take a look.
They said that you took $50,000 in cash in a bag from an undercover FBI agent to help them win government contracts in Trump's second term. The DOJ said they concluded there was no criminal wrongdoing, but nevertheless, that story is out there, and I imagine you want to respond to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Look, I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And there's hit piece after hit piece.
Seems like something that's easy to refute if you didn't take the money. However, the revelations about Calderas' role shows conspiracy. Conspiracy charge requires that more than one person enter into a corrupt agreement, and undercover federal agents can't be part of a conspiracy. And Jank, I'll remind you and the audience that the early reporting on this story said that there was video of this incident, and whether or not we'll see that anytime soon remains to be seen. But what do you make of this?
All right, so first of all, I'm gonna get back to what if it wasn't illegal. We're gonna talk about that, okay? But first, do I believe the Trump administration that they looked at and they're like, well, golly gee, he happens to be in an enormously important role in our administration. But we look through it and you got a bag full of cash. That doesn't look good. No, but we have decided in an unbiased way that our guy should not be prosecuted. And by the way, neither should the January 6th guys, neither should anyone on Trump's side, neither should anyone who gave a campaign donation to Donald Trump or bought his Bitcoin or his meme coin, who were charged with fraud and white collar crime. They should all be free to go, but trust us, bro, it was because we did a neutral investigation. No, we don't trust you at all. Okay, now how about the Biden guys? So you could say, hey, listen, and we said this many times. Why did they start the investigations of Trump 2.5 years in, right? So that was wrong, in my opinion. At a bare minimum, the timing was wrong, okay? So, but did they ever charge Democrats, or were they like Trump? No, my guys are all free to go no matter what they did, and you guys are gonna get locked up for being anti-American or whatever, right? So no, they went after many Democrats, including famously Senator Menendez from New Jersey. So that dude was, well, I said, kind of a similar story, right? Menendez was more over the top. He took it from the Egyptians, and he had like money stuffed into his jacket, suits and stuff, and he had gold bars, like gold bars are falling out of his hand from the Egyptians. He's like, what? No. Everybody gets gold bars. What do you mean? Everybody has money stuffed into every suit pocket. So now in this case, come on guys, okay, if you're a Trump voter, right? Like the Trump voters are supposed to be like regular bros, right? That's not really true. Everybody has normal, regular people, Democrats or Republicans, and there's all these stereotypes. But like as a regular guy, anyone out there, when someone hands another person $50,000 in cash, unless they're a teller in Las Vegas, and they hand it to them in a bag, starting to get a little sus, as the kids say, right? About 10 years ago. Okay, anyways, of course there's a problem there. Of course it should be investigated, and all of a sudden you drop the investigation. But okay, for a second, let's assume that it wasn't illegal. It's a perfectly normal thing to do, to say, hey, you know what? If we get in charge, I'm not going to look at who's the best contractor. As long as you give me a bag filled with $50,000 in cash, you're gonna get the contract. Wait a minute, that doesn't sound that good, does it? Even if it was legal, is that what you want? So that before people, are gonna make decisions, they're like, well, who bribed me? Okay, oh, well, look, there's a lot of things that are considered bribes that are legal, so I'm doing it too. Okay, well, but don't you care about who the best person for the company for the job is? Yeah, the best company for the job is the dude who gave me $50,000 in a bag. And if you notice, of course, as Jordan pointed out in that video, he never denied it. He says, I didn't do anything illegal, because conveniently, the administration I'm in dropped the charges. So he didn't say he didn't take the cash. That is very telling, man. It is super easy to say he didn't take the cash. The reason why he didn't say he didn't take the cash is because apparently it's on tape.
Yeah, and I think what MSNBC, who broke this story initially, is doing is the same thing the Wall Street Journal did with the Epstein letter from Trump for his birthday. They publish that it exists. You get the initial wave of denials from the right, from the Trump administration, and then they publish the actual document itself, and then in this case, the video. And then all of a sudden viewers, the general public can watch and see the excuses change, because in that letter it went from it doesn't exist to, well, that's not Trump's signature. So they're acknowledging it does exist and it is real. And of course we know it's Trump's signature. And I think what they'll say here is, oh, well, that's not him on tape, or that's AI, that's fake. Again, It seems like it happened. They have video of it. They scuttled the investigation, and Homan himself, when asked, couldn't even adequately respond to this charge of a bribe. Seems like it, and when there's smoke, there is typically fire. Like you say, he hasn't been found guilty yet, but because of this administration, because it is so overrun with corruption, there won't be. So it's just really how it plays out in the court of public opinion.
And guys, again, one last thing for the Trump voters out there. If you say it's okay, remember the next time a Democrat wins, everybody gets bags of cash. Okay, and then you guys are good with it, right? And then they give away government contracts that affect all of us because some Democratic official in that hypothetical, and in this case, literal Republican official, goes, hey, I'm gonna get the bag. In this case, it's literal.